Welcome to the fourth and final creative video of the Fantasy Creatures Contest. As usual, if you stumble upon this video by chance and have no idea what I'm talking about, I refer you to the rules video, which can be found in the description or as part of the same playlist. Otherwise, here we go. Today we finish the cultural part of our creatures. If you have any ideas, this is the right time to express them. Specifically today we will talk about magic, education, science and religion. Magic and technology are very important resources. Think about who has access to them. Are they such widespread resources that even ordinary people come into contact with them in their everyday lives? Or are they privilege for a knowledgeable few? Also, think about how they interact in your world. Are they mutually exclusive or do they coexist, being able to be mixed in techno-magic disciplines? As for magic, it is a hard or soft magic system. What are the costs and benefits of its use? Is it limited to certain precise spheres, such as natural elements, or does it work more broadly? Education is a key component of culture, as it is the primary means by which culture is passed on. Think about what system they use to accumulate and pass knowledge. This will depend heavily on their level of technology. Also think about whether there is a system of public education and whether it is considered a right. Finally, think about whether there are social classes that have easy access to knowledge, or whether there are some of them that have an exclusive set of knowledge. The spiritual aspect is always something to decide, whether it is very present or completely absent. Think about what religious system they have adopted and how they relate to representatives of different religions. To what extent do they believe these supernatural entities can interact with the world? Do they believe that they can manifest and walk alongside with them and help them in tangible way in their time of need? Or do they see them more as detached entities that can at best send a sign when asked? Also ask what theories or belief they have about the origin of the world and life. Do they live on a planet in the universe or on the back of a giant turtle? And how much of these beliefs are true and how much are false? How much do your creatures know about their own origin and the origin of the world? The origin of your creatures may be more evolutionary or more creationist, perhaps even scientific or magical, created or hybridized in laboratory by science or magic. These are all the suggestions I wanted to give you to let you express your idea at best. I will leave in the comments the name and all the description of the creatures we are creating, so you can answer to those comments to keep everything organized. I worked a lot on these creatures since the last time and the material has kinda tripled since then, so I'm just putting on images and read the compendium to you. So I will not be forced to stay in front of the camera for 2 hours reading. The images will be AI generated because I have to do this stuff with zero budget. If you want to solve this problem, you will find the Patreon link in the description, or you can buy my books. Links in the description for those as well. By the way, I just published The Cult of the Endeavor this December on Amazon, in ebook and paperback. It is the second book after Odyssey to Trappist 1 and it's actually a prequel. If you like science fiction and generational ships, check it out. Aetherites, ethereal masters of gravity. The Aetherites are a race of ethereal humanoids, distinguished by their unparalleled ability to manipulate gravity and bend space to their will. Originating from a dimension where gravity is erratic and non-existent, these beings evolved to control their personal gravitational pull, ensuring survival in an environment of chaos. This trait is deeply tied to their connection with astral energies, which imbue them with abilities that defy the natural laws of physics. Their lineage traces back to beings of pure energy that once existed within the astral plane, a realm of chaotic gravitational forces and multidimensional movement. These astral entities were an integral part of the universal fundamental forces, existing beyond physical constraints. Over millennia, some of these entities, driven by curiosity, descended into material realms. Their gradual integration into these worlds marked their transformation into humanoid forms, though they retained their astral-born abilities as hallmarks of their origin. Floating civilizations. In the material world, Aetherites use their gravitational mastery to construct magnificent floating cities, perched atop clouds or nestled in towering peaks where gravity's influence is weakest. These ethereal metropolises are a marvel of architecture and engineering. Structures float freely, suspended mid-air by the will of their creators, while intricate pathways of hovering platforms connect different districts. The cities reflect the Aetherites' connection to the skies and their reliance on gravity manipulation to maintain their lifestyle. However, this existence comes with inherent danger. If an Aetherite loses focus or control over their gravitational abilities, the consequences may be dire, ranging from catastrophic falls to accidental displacement into the astral plane. To counteract these risks, the Aetherites developed dimensional anchors, intricate devices that stabilize their gravitational presence into the material world. These anchors became essential for both survival and societal advancement, allowing them to expand their floating cities and secure their place between dimensions. Gravity as a cultural foundation. For Aetherites, gravity manipulation shapes every facet of their culture, including their art, rituals, and social structure. Social hierarchies. Aetherites society places great values in one mastery of gravity. Leaders are chosen not only by their wisdom but also for their unparalleled control over gravitational forces. Similarly, those with artistic talents in gravity weaving, the creation of dynamic, weightless sculptures or displays, are revered as cultural icons. Art and architectures. The cities of the Aetherites feature awe-inspiring work of art, such as sculptures that perpetually spin, hover, or defy all natural laws of physics. These creations often depict key historical events of celestial phenomena, serving as both cultural milestones and reminders of their astral heritage. Rituals and festivals. The Skyborn Festival is an hallmark of their culture, where Aetherites gather to celebrate their mastery over gravity. Synchronized aerial displays, cloud sculpting competitions, and gravity-defying dances are a key highlight of the event, showcasing both individual skills and communal harmony. Occupations and roles. The unique abilities of the Aetherites deeply influence their professions, which revolves around their gravitational expertise. Skyfarers. These explorers and messengers travel between floating cities and even traverse dimensions, serving as the lifeblood of inner-city communications and discovery. Anchorsmiths. Engineers who craft and maintain dimensional anchors are amongst the most respected members of society. Their work is vital for stabilizing not only individuals but entire floating structures. Balance keepers. Trained in both gravitational physics and astral philosophy, balance keepers assist Aetherites struggling with gravitational imbalances. They serve as both healer and spiritual guides, ensuring their people maintain harmony with their astral essence. Family, relationship, and philosophy. Gravity manipulation also influenced the daily lives and interpersonal relationship of the Aetherites, creating unique customs and philosophies. Childhood training. From a young age, Aetherite children undergo rigorous training known as gravity rites to learn control over their abilities. Elders act as mentors, guiding them through exercises that develop precision and creativity in manipulating gravitational forces. Conflict resolution. Disputes among Aetherites are often resolved through symbolic gravitational duels. These contests, which involve control displays of skill like shifting an opponent's foot or creating gravity barriers, emphasize nonviolent resolution and mutual respect. Cosmic reverence. Aetherites' spirituality centers on celestial bodies, viewed as gravitational keystone anchoring the universe. They see their manipulation of gravity as a sacred gift and a way to honor these cosmic forces. Meditative practices often involve observing stars and planets, drawing wisdom from their movements. Fragile beauty and eternal balance. Though powerful and awe-inspiring, the Aetherites are also delicate creatures, forever balancing their existence between physical and astral realms. Their mastery of gravity and technological ingenuity allows them to thrive in the skies, but it also leaves them vulnerable to the dangers of their abilities. The constant interplays of freedom and restraint define their existence, making them a race of ethereal wonder and precarious elegance. Crynids, guardians of the ocean song. The Crynids are elegant aquatic humanoids, celebrated for their translucent wings and the hauntingly beautiful songs that resonate with the rhythm of the ocean. These beings are deeply connected to the tides, currents, and marine life. Their wings, delicate yet powerful, are designed to catch wind and vapor, enabling them to skim effortlessly across the surface of the sea. This ability places them in a unique position as creatures that bridge the divide between air and water, embodying the fluidity of the ocean itself. Scholars believe that Crynids evolved through a symbiotic relationship with marine life. Their earliest ancestors may have resembled winged sea creatures such as sea dragons or immense gull-like beings. Over countless generations, their song, initially used to communicate with marine animals, grew into a magical force capable of influencing tides and fostering the vitality of the seas. However, this deep connection is now threatened by pollution and human interference that disrupt the delicate balance of oceanic ecosystem, imperiling both the Crynids' magic and their way of life. Cultural importance of song. The songs of the Crynids are the lifeblood of their culture, shaping every facet of their society. Communal harmonies. At the heart of their traditions are tide gatherings, during which entire communities come together to sing in harmony with the ocean. These gatherings not only strengthen their bonds with the seas, but also reinforce their social unity, blending individuals' voices into a collective melody that mirrors the tide's rise and fall. Songcrafting traditions. Some Crynids dedicate their lives to the art of song crafting, creating new melodies or preserving ancient ones. These compositions are often stored in waterborne scrolls, crafted from enchanted kelp, or embedded in crystal resonators. Devices that amplify and immortalize their music. These artisans are revered as cultural archivists, ensuring their legacy endures through generations. Social hierarchies and roles. Crynids society is organized around their abilities and connection to the oceans, with distinct roles ensuring their community's survival and harmony. Tidal guardians. These spiritual and magical leaders are protectors of sacred relics and underwater temples, repositories of the ocean's primal energies. The tidal guardians amplify their fading songs through the power of their relics, working tirelessly to restore balance to their waters. Wave callers. Expert in manipulating tides and currents, wave callers guides the ocean's flow to benefit both Crynid society and marine life. They ensure food supplies, clear migration routes, and protect vulnerable marine ecosystems from harm. Caretakers of the shoal. These environmental stewards nurture symbiotic relationships with marine creatures, cultivating coral guardians and tending to endangered species. Their work sustains the intricate web of life upon which Crynid's magic depends. Rituals and ceremonies. Rituals are an integral part of Crynid culture, reflecting their deep connection to the ocean and their ongoing struggles. The Awakening Song. At sunrise, Crynids perform this sacred ritual to align their energies with the tides. Singing in unison, they harmonize with the ocean's ebb and flow, ensuring a balance between their magic and the sea's rhythms. Requiem for the Lost. This somber ceremony mourns polluted and dead regions of the ocean. Blending sorrowful melodies with hopeful harmonies, the Requiem is both a lament and a call to action, inspiring efforts to heal damaged ecosystems. Festival of the First Wave. A celebration of their origin, this vibrant festival features synchronized gliding displays over water and the creation of grand, multi-voiced compositions. The event serves as a joyous reminder of their enduring bond with the ocean. Conflict and diverging factions. The Crynid struggles in a deteriorating world have created internal divisions, giving rise to factions with competing visions for their future. Reformers versus Seekers. Reformers advocate for natural healing, focusing on restoring the oceans through traditional methods and sustainable practices. Conversely, Seekers experiment with ancient artifacts or forbidden magic, risking further harm in their desperation to sustain their waning powers. Temple Preservationist. This faction is devoted to rediscovering and restoring lost underwater sanctuaries. They often clash with the industrialized society whose activity threatens their sacred sites, creating tension within and beyond Crynids communities. Siren Outcasts. A tragic counterpoint to the Crynids' harmonious society, Siren Outcasts have turned their songs into weapons. These rogue individuals prey on sailors and coastal settlements, embodying the danger of losing harmony with the ocean's magic. The Tidal Guardians and Sacred Relics. The Tidal Guardians hold as a revered place within Crynids society, serving as protectors of ancient relics believed to be fragments of the ocean's soul. These relics amplify their fading magic, allowing them to cleanse polluted water and safeguard their people. However, the use of these relics is not without risk. Over-reliance on their power had led some guardians to strain their connection to the sea with devastating consequences. These relics are housed in sacred underwater temples, many of which have been lost to the encroachment of industrialization and pollution. Restoring these sanctuaries is a vital goal for the temple preservationists, as they are seen as the key to reviving the Crynids' dwelling magic. Ancient myths suggest that the Crynids were once the ocean's chosen stewards, guardians of its primal energy and protectors of its harmony. Their songs, once capable of shaping entire currents and summoning marine life, has become echoes of their former glory. As the oceans falter, so too does the magic that once sustained our people. Caught between the memory of a thriving past, the Crynids stands as symbol of resistance and the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Faurils, guardians of the living forest. Faurils are sentient forest spirits whose form are an intricate fusion of bark, wine, and the raw vitality of nature. Rooted in the balance of ecosystems, they embody the forest itself, acting as both its guardians and its voice. Their ability to reshape their body allows them to become towering mobile fortresses, merging with the trees they protect to define their woodland homes. Faurils communicate in subtle, harmonious way, using the rustling of leaves, the crack of ancient boats, and the shifting of roots to convey their thought. These natural sounds serve as both a language and spiritual connection, enabling them to commune not just with each other but with the forest as a whole. The creation of the Faurils. The origins of the Faurils lie in the powerful rituals of an ancient druidic order. Long ago, when the natural world faced its first great threat from unchecked expansion and destruction, these druids called upon primal magic to fuse forest spirits with the vitality of the tree themselves. The result was the Faurils, eternal guardians whose very existence is tied to the life of the forest they protect. This bond granted the Faurils profound abilities, from reshaping their forms to blending seamless with the land. However, as humanity's industrialization and deforestation began to encroach on their home, their forest vitality waned. With it, the magic that sustains the Faurils has grown weaker, leaving them to confront the rise of the elemental hybrids. Faced with the declining strength of their traditional magic, some Faurils have sought power in darker places. These individuals, known as elemental hybrids, have infused themselves with volatile and destructive forms of elemental energy, such as volcanic magma, stormborn lightning, or the decaying essence of swamp rot. While these transformations grant them immense power and the ability to confront threats head-on, they come out with steep price, the loss of their spiritual purity and their harmonious connection to the natural world. The Blight-forged Faurils, as they are sometimes called, are a tragic reflection of desperation. They emerge from corrupted or dying forest as living embodiment of the scars inflicted upon nature. Burning bark, toxic fumes, and jagged, unnatural forms distinguish these hybrids from their verdant brethren. Their rise has created a rift within Fauril society, sparking debates and even civil wars over the cost of survival in a changing world. Society roles and hierarchies. Fauril society is deeply structured around their role as steward of the forest, with each member contributing to its preservation and growth. Wardens of the Grove. These elder Faurils serve as leaders and repositories of ancient wisdom, acting as mediators and decision-makers. The Wardens oversee the delicate balance of their ecosystem and arbitrate dispute within the community. Seed-bearers. Charged with expanding the reach of the forest, seed-bearers carry enchanted seeds to new territories, fostering growth and ensuring to spread their woodland domains. These missions are vital for reclaiming deforested lands. Verdant Sentinels. As the warriors of Fauril society, Verdant Sentinels utilize their transformation abilities to become massive mobile fortresses, standing as living shields against the external threats. In times of peace, they act as vigilant watchers, patrolling the forest borders. Caretakers of the Bloom. These spiritual guides nurture the forest's rare and magical flora. By ensuring the vitality of these plants, they sustain the deeper magical currents that flow through the forest into the Fauril themselves. Conflict between purists and hybrids. The emergence of elemental hybrids has created a profound division within Fauril society, leading to ideological and physical conflicts. The Green Accord. A coalition of traditional Faurils, the Green Accord, advocates for a return to their original purpose of living in harmony with nature. They oppose the use of corrupted elements and believe that balance can only be restored through patience, healing, and with unity with the forest. Blightforged Faurils. Hybrids argue that survival necessitates adaptation, even if it means sacrificing harmony. Viewing the purists as naive, they embrace their volatile transformation as the only means to defend themselves against industrialized society and ecological collapse. Divided Forests. The conflict has left many forests fragmented, with some regions thriving under the care of purists, while others succumb to blight and corruption under the influence of hybrids. This contrasting landscape reflects the schism within Fauril society, with neutral zones often caught in the crossfire of the ideological war. Rituals and ceremonies. Fauril culture is deeply spiritual, with rituals designed to align them with the natural cycles of their environment. The Rooting Ceremony. A rite of passage for young Faurils, this ceremony binds them to a specific tree or section of the forest, solidifying their connection to their home and granting them a lifelong anchor to its vitality. The Blooming Festival. Held during the height of spring, this festival celebrates new life and growth. Fauril come together to sing, dance and spread enchanting seeds, renewing their bond with the forest. The Mourning of the Bark. A solemn ceremony dedicated to areas of the forest that have been destroyed. Faurils gather to sing lamentations, seeking to guide lost forest spirits back to the cycle of rebirth. Relations with other creatures and societies. The Faurils interact with a wide variety of beings, their relationships shaped by their role as guardians of nature. Allies of the Druids. Faurils maintain a sacred alliance with the Druids, who share their commitment to protecting the natural world. Together, they work to heal damaged lands and preserve the balance of life. Guardians of the Wild Folk. Many smaller woodlands creatures and sentient races rely on the forest for survival. The Faurils act as protectors and providers, offering sanctuaries and ensuring the continued vitality of the ecosystem they share. Caution toward outsiders. While generally distrustful of industrialized society, some Fauril factions have begun acting as diplomats or mediators, attempting to bridge the gap between nature and civilization to prevent further destruction. Legends and Legacy. Fauril Myths speaks of time when their forests stretched unbroken across the land, and their songs kept the natural world in perfect harmony. Now, with their home shrinking and their magic fading, the Faurils are a symbol of both nature's resilience and the consequences of its exploitation. Nyxari, Shadow Walkers of the Twilight Realms. The Nyxari are mysterious shadow-dwelling creatures existing on the fringes of light and dark. Their unique biology allows them to consume light as sustenance, converting it into energy that fuels their remarkable ability to teleport through shadow. This method of movement, often described as swimming in darkness, enables them to traverse vast distances by slipping through shadowed spaces, evading pursuit or reaching hidden places with ease. Their consumption of light, however, leaves its mark on the world. Areas drained by the Nyxari become colder and darker, their once vibrant energy replaced by an eerie void-like chill. This residual darkness often attracts void-born horrors, malevolent entities from realms beyond existence. Thus, the Nyxari must carefully balance their need for sustenance with the consequences of their feeding. the delicate equilibrium that defines their existence. Origins and evolution. The origins of the Nyxari are tied to a cataclysmic event, a collision between their original Twilight realm and a shadow dimension where light was nearly absent. This convergence altered their species forever, fusing their essence with the properties of the void. In the aftermath, the Nyxari developed the ability to draw energy from light and traverse overlapping planes of reality. Initially, the Nyxari lived peacefully with the dim twilight zone in the world, in harmony with the balance of light and shadow. Over time, however, their dependence on light as a resource grew, and with it came the side effect of their consumption, the proliferation of void energy and the rise of dark, destructive forces. These changes not only wrapped their biology, but also began to fracture their once cohesive culture. The void touched. Among the Nyxari, those who consume excessive light or become overwhelmed by the void influence undergo transformation into beings known as void-touched. These individuals lose their physical forms, becoming ethereal, living shadows, bound more closely to the void than to the material world. While the void-touched gain incredible teleportation ability and an intimate connection to the void, the transformation is not without cost. The void-touched often suffer from madness, their minds frayed by the endless whispers of the void. Some are driven to serve the void-born horrors that stalk the darker corners of existence, becoming harbinger of destruction. Feared even among their own kind, the void-touched are simultaneously revered for their power and pitied for their loss of self. For some Nyxari, becoming void-touched represents a tragic failure, while for others, it is seen as the ultimate transcendence. Societal structure and philosophy. The Nyxari are deeply divided by their relationship with light and darkness, and this division is reflected in their governance and beliefs. The Shadow Keeper. This faction represents the Nyxari who strive to maintain a balance between light and shadow. Shadow Keepers impose strict law and rituals that regulate light consumption, ensuring the safety of their environment and minimizing the risk of void incursions. They view their abilities as sacred responsibility and dedicated themselves to preserving the fragile ecosystem. The Void Seekers. In stark contrast, the Void Seekers embrace the corruption power of the void. They believe that the future of the Nyxari lies in surrendering to the void's influence, becoming void-touched, to achieve ultimate power and freedom. Their radical philosophy often leads to conflict with the Shadow Keepers, as their action threatens the delicate balance of the world. Shadowforge architecture and technology. The Nyxari's affinity for darkness and shadow manifests in their unique cities and tools, which blend seamlessly with the shadowy environment. Void cities. Nyxari settlements are often hidden within twilight zones or subterranean labyrinths, where light is scarce. These cities are fluid and ever-shifting, with structures that seem to morph and flow like living shadows. Void cities are designed to be imperceptible to outsiders, their entrances concealed in pools of darkness. Light traps. Ingenious devices created by the Nyxari to capture and store ambient light. These traps allowed for controlled feeding, reducing environmental damage and minimizing the risk of attracting void-born horrors. Shadeforge weapons. Artifacts created from condensed shadows imbued with the Nyxari teleportation abilities. These weapons allow their wielders to strike from unexpected angles, vanishing into shadows or create temporary barriers of darkness in combat. The struggle with void influence. The Nyxari's connection to the void is a constant source of internal and external challenges. Void sanctuaries. These remote enclaves serve as a retreat for void-touched Nyxari, offering them place to meditate and attempt to control their corruption. Some sanctuaries succeed in helping void-touch regain a semblance of their former selves, while others descend into chaos and the void's influence overpowers its residents. Corruption marks. As the void's influence grows, signs of corruption manifest physically, appearing as glowing scars, shadowy tendrils, or warped features. These marks often carry social stigma among Shadow Keepers, while Void Seekers wear them as badges of pride. Prophecies of Twilight's End. Nyxari legends warn of a tipping point where the balance between light and dark collapses, resulting in either the extinction of their species or the Void's complete domination. These prophecies fuel the ideological conflict between the factions, as each side believes their path will adverse disaster. Cultural practices and rituals. The Nyxari have developed intricate traditions that reflect their duality and their struggle for balance. The Eclipse Rite, a sacred ceremony performed during solar or lunar eclipses, where the Nyxari come together to harmonize their energies and renew their connection to the twilight. The Feast of Shadows, a ritualistic feeding event where light is consumed under strict supervision to prevent excess and ensure balance. The event also serves as a communal celebration of their unity and survival. The Void Vigil, a solemn practice where Nyxari meditate on their own shadows, confronting the void within themselves. This ritual is a personal test of strength and control, undertaken by those who fear succumbing to the corruption. Relations with the other creatures and societies. The Nyxari's enigmatic nature and their role as both sustainers and destroyers of light shape their relationship with other beings. Guardians of Twilight. Many species that inhabit Twilight realms view the Nyxari as protectors and guides, relying on their shadows' manipulation abilities to navigate the liminal spaces. Mistrusted by the Lightborn. Races that rely heavily on light and are vulnerable to darkness often view the Nyxari with suspicion, blaming them for the spread of void corruption or the dimming of sacred places. Allies of the Forgotten. The Nyxari are known to ally with outcast and exiliated beings, providing them refuge in the Shadowed Realm and forging bonds with those who share their struggles against external threats. Legacy and Symbolism. The Nyxari story is one of balance and conflict, a reflection of the external struggle between light and darkness. As they navigate the delicate line between survival and destruction, their plight serves as a reminder of the consequences and imbalance of the power of choice. Whether seen as a bringer of doom or guardians of twilight, the Nyxari remain a testament of the resilience of those who live in the shadows. Oskaan, masters of martial and magical prowess. The Oskaans are a feline-like race, celebrated for their agility, grace, and mastery of both martial and magical arts. Their lean, muscular builds enable unparalleled feats of speed and strength, while their magical prowess adds a versatile edge. The most distinct feature of the Oskaan is their prehensile tail, which serve not only as an extension of their physical dexterity, but also as a conduit for channeling magical energy. These tails are used with remarkable precision, enabling the Oskaan to cast spells, manipulate objects, and even wave intricate magical patterns from a distance. This duality of physical and magical excellence defines the Oskaan, and their culture reflects an intricate balance between these disciplines. For the Oskaans, to master one without the other is seen as incomplete. They believe true strength lies in unity of body and spirit. This philosophy has shaped their society, fostering a culture that values both independence and community, strength and restraint. The Astral Tail Masters. As the pinnacle of Oskaan achievement stand the Astral Tail Masters, an elite group capable of wielding astral magic, an energy derived from the fabric of space and time. These rare individuals use their prehensile tail to tap into the astral plane, manipulating the laws of physics with extraordinary finesse. Astral Tail Masters can freeze an enemy mid-strike, fold space to teleport objects, or even glimpse moments into the future to anticipate their opponent's moves. Despite their revered status, the power of Astral Tail Masters comes with inherent dangers. Prolonged exposure to astral magic destabilizes their connection to the material world, risking mental degradation or catastrophic effects on the reality itself. Because of this, the Masters are both admired and feared, their existence viewed as both a blessing and a potential threat. Strict training and discipline are required to wield such powers responsibly, and those who falter are often shunned and closely monitored. Origins: the Astral Cataclysm. The Oskaan trace their unique abilities to a catastrophic event in their distant past, known as the Astral Cataclysm. This calamity occurred when their world collided with an astral plane, a realm of fragmented space and time. The collision released a wave of unstable magic that altered the physical and metaphysical fabric of their existence. Many Oskaan perished in the chaos, but those who survived were forever changed, their bodies and tails adapting to channel the newfound energies permeating their world. In the aftermath, the Oskaan learned to harness these changes, refining their tail channeling abilities and developing new methods to survive and thrive. Over generations, this adaptation became an integral part of their identity, culminating in the emergence of the Astral Tail Masters, who pushed the boundaries of what their species could achieve. Societal structure, clans and specializations. Oskaan society is organized in a system of clans, each specializing in a particular aspect of martial or magical mastery. These clans function as both extended families and professional guilds, fostering expertise and innovation within their domains. Clans of combat. These clans prioritize physical strength, ability, and tactical discipline. Warriors from these clans are masters of both armed and unarmed combat, blending feline dexterity with deadly efficiency. Mystic clans. Focused on magical study, these clans refine their tail channeling techniques, creating powerful enchantment spells and astral manipulations. They serve as scholars and magical advisory within the Oskaan society. Weaver clans. Artisan and crafters who imbue their creation with magical properties. These clans produce enchanted tools, weapons, and garments that enhance Oskaan's abilities both in battle and daily life. Astral Vanguard. A secretive and selected clan responsible for training potential Astral Tail Masters. They maintain rigorous standards, ensuring that only the most disciplined and capable Oskaans access the dangerous power of astral magic. Rites of passage and personal achievement. The Oskaan place immense value on individual strength and achievement, which is reflected in their rich traditions and rites of passage. These rituals emphasize the balance between martial and magical mastery, celebrating those who excel in both disciplines. The Twin Trials. A coming-of-age ritual where young Oskaan must demonstrate proficiency in both martial skills, such as swordsmanship or archery, and a magical discipline like spellcasting or enchantment. Success grants them full societal status and marks their transition into adulthood. Tail Ward Challenges. Competitive events showcase the creative and precise use of prehensile tail in spellcasting and manipulation. These challenges are not only tests for skill but also a celebration of the Oskaan unique heritage. Astral Initiation. A dangerous journey into the astral plane undertaken by those seeking to become Astral Tail Masters. This rite tests their resilience, willpower, and control over astral energies. Survivors return marked with magical enchantments or ceremonial tattoos, signifying their achievement. Relations with other species and realms. The Oskaan's mastery of both the physical and the astral realm has positioned them as influential players in the broader world. Their interdimensional heritage and unique abilities have shaped their interaction with other species and realms. Interdimensional diplomacy. The Oskaan maintain cautious relations with the neighboring realms, recognizing the potential dangers of astral instability. They often act as mediators or advisors, leveraging their knowledge to broker alliances and preventing further catastrophes. Guardians of the Rift. As steward of the astral plane, the Oskaans take responsibility for monitoring interdimensional rifts. They prevent incursions by void creatures and contain volatile energies that threaten their world and others. Cultural exports. Oskaan's artisans and warriors are highly sought after by other races. Their enchanted artifact, elegant combined techniques, and philosophical teachings have earned them widespread admiration and influence, making them valuable allies and formidable adversaries. Legacy and symbolism. The Oskaan's journey from a race ravaged by the astral cataclysm to a thriving society of warriors and mystics is a testament to their reliance and adaptability. Their unique balance of martial and magical prowess reflects their philosophy of harmony between body and spirit, strength and wisdom. Talraks, nomadic guardians of memory and renewal. The Talraks are sentient plant-like creatures whose body combine flexibility with the resilience of wood and vines. Their root-like limbs grant them exceptional mobility, enabling them to traverse vast terrains with ease. These appendages also serve a deeper purpose. By planting themselves into the ground, Talraks can tap into the Earth's energies and absorb memories embedded in the soil. This unique ability allows them to witness echoes of past events, enriching their collective wisdom and forging a profound connection to the world around them. As they journey, Talraks leaves trails of fertile ground in their wake. Their presence rejuvenates barren regions, nurturing plant life and restoring ecosystem. Over time, Talraks age and lose their mobility, eventually planting themselves permanently. This transformation marks the end of their nomadic phase and the beginning of their role as elder roots, sentient trees that serve as a repository of wisdom and memory, guiding their kin with their accumulated knowledge. Origins: the creation of the Talraks. The origins of the Talraks are steeped into ancient myth. According to their lore, they were created by primordial earth elemental beings, powerful entities that sought to safeguard the knowledge of the natural world. These beings imbued specific plants with sentience and ability to absorb memory from the earth, creating the first Talraks. Over millennia, these memory-absorbing plants evolved into fully mobile and intelligent beings, capable of shaping their surroundings while preserving the stories of the land. This dual purpose of rejuvenation and remembrance remains central to the Talraks' existence, making them both caretakers of nature and living archives of its history. The life cycle of the Talraks. The Talraks embody a unique life cycle, divided into two distinct phases, the nomadic phase and the rooted phase. During the nomadic phase, Talraks travel across continents in loose tribes, seeking to absorb knowledge from the earth and heal damaged ecosystems. Their root-like limbs allow them to listen to the soil, uncovering the secrets of forgotten battles, ancient civilizations, and natural disasters. The rooted phase begins when a Talrak reaches the end of their mobility, in a ritual known as the planting rite. The Talraks anchor themselves permanently to the ground, transforming into a sentient tree. These rooted individuals become part of the Elder Root Councils, sacred groves that serve as living archives and spiritual leaders for the Talraks. Cultural practices and rituals. The Talraks' culture revolves around their deep connection to nature and the cycle of life. Their traditions reflect their reverence for growth, memory, and renewal. The planting rite. When a Talrak prepares to take root, their entire community gathers to celebrate this transformation. This event is not mourned but seen as a joyous ascension, where the Talraks' wisdom becomes a permanent part of the Elder Root Councils. Memory sharing. Nomadic Talrak frequently holds gatherings called Earth Songs Councils, during which they link their roots to share their memories they've absorbed from the soil. This collective exchange weaves a shared tapestry of history and strengthens their communal bonds. Fertility trails. As a sacred duty, Talraks undergo journeys across barren or desolate lands, using their natural gift to restore fertility to the soil. These rituals are seen as acts of devotion to the balance of nature, leaving thriving ecosystems in their wake. Social organization and hierarchy. Talrak society is organized into roles and groups that reflect their nomadic and rooted lifestyles. Nomadic tribe. These loosely organized groups are led by guiding sprouts, young Talraks gifted with the ability to interpret the Earth's memory. They navigate ancient pathways, leading their tribes to areas in need of healing or knowledge. Root Guardians, dedicated protectors of the Elder Root Councils. Root Guardians use their deep connection to the land to summon defensive barriers of vines, brambles, and even seismic tremors to fend off threats. Wisdom Speakers. These individuals act as emissary between the nomadic tribes and the rooted Elder Roots. They are trained to interpret the often cryptic advice of the Elder Roots Councils, ensuring their guidance is understood and followed. Philosophy and worldview. The Talraks' benefits are deeply intertwined with their unique connection to the Earth and its memories. Their guiding philosophies emphasize harmony, sustainability, and the cyclical nature of existence. The Memory Creed. Central to their worldview is the belief that all life leaves an imprint on the Earth. the Talraks sees themselves as stewards of these imprints, tasked with collecting, preserving, and honoring the memoirs of the land. The balance of movement and stillness. Talraks embrace a dual philosophy where their nomadic phase represents growth, discovery, and contribution, while their rooted phase symbolizes reflection, guidance, and renewal. This balance ensures their actions remain purposeful and sustainable. Harmony of renewal. The Talraks hold that creation and rejuvenation must go hand in hand. Waste and excess are seen as antithetical to their mission, and they strive to leave the world better than they found it. The Elder Root Councils. The Elder Root Councils are sacred groves where rooted Talraks reside, their massive tree forms imbued with centuries of wisdom. The council serves as spiritual and political authorities, guiding the nomadic Talraks with their profound understanding of the world's interconnectedness. The advice of the Elder Roots is often cryptic, reflecting their deep awareness of nature's subtle rhythm. Few outside the Talrak can fully comprehend the layered meaning of their guidance, but their words are revered as sacred truths. The groves themselves are a place of pilgrimage, where travelers seek counsel or pay homage to the ancient wisdom of the Talraks. Relations with other races. The Talraks rose as stewards of nature, often places themselves in position of both reverence and tension with other races. This ability to heal the land had earned them allies among those who valued the natural world, but their cryptic nature and refusal to exploit sources often draw the ire of those with more industrial or destructive ambitions. Despite this, the Talraks remain steadfast in their mission. They see themselves as guardians of the Earth's memory, driven not by the approval of others, but by their sacred duty to preserve the planet's balance and vitality. Legacy of the Talraks. The Talraks are more than a race, they are a living embodiment of nature's resilience and wisdom. Their nomadic journey breathes life into barren lands, while their rooted forms anchor the memories of the lesson of the past. Throughout the dual existence, they serve as a reminder of nature's enduring strength and the eternal cycle of growth, renewal, and remembrance. Thaurk, living arcs of the desert. The Thaurk are towering, gentle giants that roam vast desert expanses, carrying entire ecosystem upon their immense back. These living arcs, with their slow and deliberate movements, create an oasis of life in otherwise desolate wastelands. Each Thaurk supports forests of lush greenery, flowing rivers, and thriving communities of animals and smaller creatures that coexist in symbiosis. Their massive bodies are uniquely adapted to their purpose. Layers of fertile soils cling to their broad backs, nourished by an intricate system of magical currents and moisture retained from rare desert rains. Trees and plants grow atop them, forming canopies that shelter diverse species, from arboreal birds to burrowing mammals. The Thaurk's very breath emits life-sustaining aura, encouraging growth and revitalizing the arid land they traverse. Yet, as awe-inspiring as they are, the Thaurk face a dire plight. Their number are dwindling, and the ecosystem they sustain are slowly withering. Origins of the Thaurk. The origins of the Thaurk are steeped in mystery and myth, passed down through oral traditions and ancient texts. One popular tale speaks of a druid civilization that lived during the apocalyptic drought, a time when desert expanded unchecked, swallowing entire forests and lakes. In their desperation, the druid perform a powerful ritual, transforming ordinary giants into vessels of life. These newly created Thaurk became walking sanctuaries, carrying the remnants of nature across the wastelands. Another myth attributes their creation to the Titans, elemental beings tasked with maintaining balance in the world. According to this legend, the Titans imbued the Thaurk with their essence, enabling them to preserve life during cataclysm times. The relics of these titans, scattered across the desert, are said to contain the energy needed to restore the Thaurk's waning magic. Whatever their true origins, the Thaurk has long served as symbols of resilience and interdependence, embodying the fragile balance between life and the elements. The decline of the Thaurk. The magic sustaining the Thaurk and their ecosystem is fading, leaving them increasingly vulnerable. Aging Thaurk lose their ability to carry thriving habitats. while their bodies grew brittle and less fertile. The creatures and plants that once flourished on their backs now face the challenge of survival in a harsh environment. Some inhabitants have begun constructing desert sanctuaries, artificial ecosystems built in oases or deep underground caves, using a blend of magic and technology. These sanctuaries attempt to replicate the life-giving environment of the Thaurk, preserving plants, animals, and even entire communities. However, not all efforts are altruistic. Ruthless factions seek to exploit the Thaurk, harvesting their magical fluids, rare plant, and minerals embedded in their skins for profit, hastening the giants' decline. Life on the Thaurk's back, multi-tiered societies. The ecosystem atop a Thaurk are incredibly diverse, supporting multi-tiered communities that reflect a delicate balance of coexistence. Layered communities. The higher tiers, closer to the treetops, house arboreal settlements where canopy dwellers trade their gathering sunlight-dependent resources. Lower tiers, nestled closer to the soil, are inhabited by ground dwellers who cultivate crops, maintaining the water system and tend to the roots and the ecosystem. Conflict and cooperation. Resources such as sunlight, water, and space are limited, leading to occasional tension between communities. Caretakers, druid or wise leaders, mediate disputes and ensure harmony among their inhabitants. Shared defense. The creatures living on a Thaurk collaborate to protect their mobile home from predators or poachers. Birds act as scouts, warning of approaching threats, while burrowing creatures create barriers or traps. This cooperation fosters a sense of unity, despite the inherent challenges of life on a moving giant. Interactions with the outside world. The Thaurk are not isolated entities, their presence impacts and is influenced by the world around them. Worshipped by desert tribes. Nomadic tribes of the desert revere the Thaurk as divine beings, considering them the custodians of life in an unforgiving environment. These tribes undertake pilgrimages to offer gifts, prayer, and magical blessings, believing that the Thaurk's survival ensures the prosperity of the desert. Exploitation and poachers. Ruthless groups view the Thaurk as resources to be exploited. Rare plants, medicinal herbs, and magical fluids harvested for their bodies are highly coveted. This exploitation threatens not only the Thaurk, but the entire ecosystem they sustain. Diplomatic relationship. Civilization bordering the desert often trade with the Thaurk's inhabitants, exchanging rare goods like enchanted seeds, magical plants, and magical artifacts. These interactions create a web of alliances and rivalries, as competing factions vie for access to the treasures borne by the giants. Tales and myth of the Thaurk. The Thaurk's cultural significance is preserved in numerous tales and myths, passed down by the creatures and civilization that owe their survival to the majestic beings. The first Thaurk. According to legend, the first Thaurk emerged during a great drought that threatened the extinction of all life, carrying the last remnants of forests and rivers. This ancient Thaurk became a symbol of hope and inspired the creation of an ecosystem atop its back. The Titan's Gift. Another myth claimed the Thaurk were created by the Titans, elemental beings who foresaw the desert's expansion and imbued ordinary giants with their power. The Titans entrusted the Thaurk with preserving the balance of nature, a duty they have upheld for millennia. The future of the Thaurk. As the Thaurk magic fades, their survival, and that of the ecosystems they sustain, hangs in the balance. The discovery of ancient Titan relics has given hope to those who believe the Thaurk's power can be rekindled. These artifacts, brimming with elemental energy, may hold the key to restore the Thaurk's life-giving magic and ensuring their continued role as custodians of life in the desert. Thogrum, the Crystal Giants. The Thogrum are colossal mountain-dwelling giants whose bodies are interwoven with crystalline formations, making them living conduits of the Earth's elemental energy. Standing tall as symbols of the mountain themselves, their crystal-infused skin shimmers with the energy drawn from the deep veins of the Earth. This energy not only sustains them, but also grants them immense strength and the ability to manipulate stone and crystals with precision. The Thogrum are masterful miners, delving deep into the mountains to uncover rare minerals that fuel their civilization. These resources are used to construct monumental fortresses, colossal structures of crystals and stone, that serve as homes, temples, and symbols of their enduring legacy. Every fortress reflects their culture's philosophy for balance, blending delicate crystalline spires with unyielding stone foundations. However, the Thogrum's way of life is under siege. A mysterious blight has disrupted the Earth's elemental energy, weakening their connection to the land. The once thriving energy flows that sustain them is dwindling, threatening the survival of their kind and the mountains they call home. The origins of the Thogrum. The creation of the Thogrum is a tale steeped in myth and speculation. According to one legend, they were sculpted by an ancient race of dwarves as guardians of the mountains, imbued with crystalline power to protect precious resources. These dwarves believed the Thogrum would act as stewards of the land, ensuring balance between extraction and preservation. Another theory suggests that the Thogrum were born where earth energy met crystal, in places where immense magical power fused with the natural mineral formation of the mountains. Over eons, this fusion gave rise to the Thogrum, living beings designed to channel and regulate the Earth's elemental energy. The blight that now threatens the Thogrum may be the result of over-extraction of these resources or a corruption of the natural energy flows that once gave them life. For a race so deeply tied to the heart of the Earth, this disruption represents not just a crisis for survival, but an existential threat to their identity. Crystal-born warriors, a sacrificial transformation. In response to the blight, some Thogrum have undertaken a desperate and irreversible transformation to become crystal-born warriors. These individuals fuse entirely with the crystals embedded in their body, drawing immense elemental power to fight the blight and protect their kind. This transformation grants them extraordinary abilities, allowing them to manipulate earth and crystals with unmatched skill, summon devastating elemental forces, and even mend weakened energy flows. However, this power comes at a dire cost. Over time, Crystalborn loses their physical form, becoming living crystalline entities with diminished ties to the material world. They cannot eat, drink, or rest as they once did, existing instead as vessels of raw energy. Their sacrifice is revered as the ultimate act of devotion to their people, yet it is also divisive. Critics argue that the process accelerates the depletion of the already fragile energy reserves, potentially hastening the Thogrum's extinction. Guilds of Artisans and Elemental Masters. Thogrum society revolves around a network of hierarchical guilds, each specialized in an essential aspect of their culture and elemental heritage. Crystal Smiths. Masters of craftsmanship, these artisans forge tools, weapons, and constructs from the rare crystal they mine, combining artistry with magical engineering. They create everything from radiant weapons to self-repairing fortresses. Earth Shapers. Geomancers with an unparalleled control over rock and crystal. Earth Shapers are responsible for constructing fortresses, carving tunnels, and ensuring the structural integrity of the mountains. They strive to maintain balance, avoiding over-extraction that could destabilize the land. Equilibrium Keepers. Philosophers and spiritual leaders that keep overseas rituals and guide society values rooted in balance. They ensure that the flow of elemental energy remains harmonious, viewing the work as spiritual heart of the Thogrum civilization. Blight Seekers, a newer caste dedicated to investigating and combating the blight. These pioneers often partner with other races or experiment with controversial solutions, such as harnessing unstable crystals or advocating for crystal-born transformations. Legends and myths of the Thogrum. The Thogrum's values and identity are deeply shaped by the myths and legends that have guided their civilizations for centuries. The Crystal Titans. A foundational myth tells of immense crystalline beings who roamed the mountains in ancient times, embodying perfection in both power and restraint. These titans serve as an ideal for the Thogrum, inspiring them to achieve greatness while warning against the hubris of over-extraction. The Shattering. This cautionary tale recounts a time where the Thogrum over-harvested their crystals, causing a catastrophic imbalance that nearly destroyed their civilization. It serves as a stark reminder of the danger of excess and the need for harmony with the earth. The Eternal Forge. A prophecy speaks of a legendary crystal hidden deep within the mountains, said to possess the power to restore the earth energy and heal the blight. Many blight seekers dedicate their lives in finding this artifact, driven by the hope that it could save their people. A society torn by the blight. The blight has introduced deep divisions between the Thogrum society, forcing them to confront ethical dilemmas and conflicting philosophies. Traditionalists versus reformists. Traditionalists advocate for preserving ancient rituals and relying on elemental harmony to heal the blight naturally. Reformists, on the other hand, push for innovation, alliances with other races, and even widespread adoption of crystal-born transformations. Conflict among guilds. The crisis has strained the relationship between guilds. For example, crystal smiths may resent earth shapers for overmining resources, while blight seekers clash with the equilibrium keepers over the ethics of their experimental methods. Difficult choices. As the blight worsen, the Thogrum face heart-wrenching decisions, such as whether to harvest forbidden crystals that could destabilize the mountains or allow more of their people to become crystal-born despite the risk. The future of the Thogrum. The Thogrum stand at a crossroads, their future uncertain. The Blight's relentless advance threatens not only their existence, but the stability of the mountain themselves. Many pin their hopes to the discovery of the Eternal Forge, believing it to be the key to restoring balance and healing the land. Others look to alliance with neighboring races, combining knowledge and resources to combat the crisis.